Welcome back. This is part 2. Sorry, the connection dropped and I had to disconnect. So I just made this part 2. I'll just wait a few seconds for you to join. Those who are watching the recording can see the part 1. And today I'm just talking about the karmic connections and evolving beyond our root patterns, identifying, knowing our life lessons and evolving beyond it. And I'm talking more on our karmic soul connections, about relationships. So I'll just wait a few seconds for you to come online. Oh, good. All the people have just zoomed back in. So I guess you people are understanding that if the call drops, you can just connect with a new one. So this is a village, so this is happening. So somebody had asked about how to identify the patterns. Identifying the patterns of our such kind of connections is just through awareness. Be aware of it. You might not know it in a day or two or very easily, but if you keep consistently practicing awareness, then you will easily identify certain root patterns which are connected to your past karmas. You'll see a pattern even in this lifetime. You'll see with every relation. Just be conscious of it. Just observe every relation consciously. You will see some other root patterns coming out. Then it is more than what you can just see and understand right now. Now, I am not encouraging anybody to go into past life stuff because that is not really recommended. It is too much of a glamorous thing. Like people want to know what was I in the past, what was my family in the past. That's not needed because till you are ready, life will not show you. Do what you want. Come what may, it will not show you. Because there are many incidences where people are not ready and just for the fun of it or for the enthusiasm of it or inquisitiveness, they want to get into all this past life stuff and they get into more bullshit. They get into a lot of nonsense because they are not ready yet. Somebody will see their neighbor as their past life wife or a husband or a lover and then see their own wife or husband as a maid or servant of past life. And then if awareness is not there, spiritual evolution and spiritual maturity is not there, when they are living a practical life, they will start seeing their current spouse as a maid or servant and they will start seeing the neighbor as their lover or spouse. Are you seeing it? It's very idiotic. So that's not highly recommended, and this is not for fun. These things are not for fun or time pass or doing such kind of things. That is why nature is very smart. Nature is super intelligent. The cosmic intelligence will not show certain things to you or make certain things known to you until you have that spiritual evolution and maturity. So your focus should be more on evolving and becoming mature spiritually. When you become spiritually mature through awareness and consciously learn through experience, consciously, and it's not like wisdom, not evolution of the wisdom. I know this, I know. No, it's not that. Experientially, you should be able to understand that. When that happens, life will start showing. But till then, you got to be aware. The practice is awareness. Seeing through everything through awareness. Those who missed out on what I'm talking, I have been just talking about my past life incidents with my daughter, and there is nothing to sympathize. I'm just telling this is a journey. Lot of such dramas happen. They come and go. They might be serious in this lifetime, but it is nothing but just a story unwinding itself due to some karmic stuff. And this is not just my life story. Each one of you watching this and even not watching this also are undergoing the same story. Namah Shivaya Bhaiya, understand that chronic health issues are also past life lessons and part of our soul agenda. How to be aware about it and overcome it. See, as I'm telling, everything is past life connections only. Everything is a lane, then it's a karmic debt that we are fulfilling. Now we have knowledge. Oh, maybe this is past life, maybe this is. Maybe no, it is past life only. Everything is past life. Knowledge we have. Now becoming aware of it. Now becoming aware of it, not to get rid of it. When you say how to know this is a past life thing that my health issue has come and how to overcome it, that means the focus is to get rid of it. That means the focus of knowing even it is a past life connection, you are not very seriously involved in that. You just want to get rid of this problem, so I want to identify what is that past life. Are you getting it? That's not spiritual maturity. Spiritual maturity, what did I tell before? I told when that there is no guarantee ki just because I came into this path, because I have a guru, my life will be everything good, all my problems will go, all my health issues will go, everything will just vanish, evaporate. And if it is not evaporating, I'm telling this path is no good, my guru is no good. That's nonsense. It doesn't go that way. What I'm telling you is guru is light. He is putting light into your darkness. So there will be darkness. What is that darkness? It is yours and mine, karmic stuff only. What we have created, it is coming back. So now we are taking the light and moving through that. So if health issues, if these things are coming, don't try to get rid of them. When you try to push them, it is the indication that we have not learnt a lesson. We are trying to dodge it, get rid of it. Whereas that issue, that thing has come into our life to teach us something. And it will not go without teaching. That issue will not go without teaching. If the lesson is not learned, and if we are trying anyways to get into something and get rid of it, it will not go. Temporarily, if it goes also, it will come back in some other form. Are you getting it? Everything is that. Every issue in life is pushing you towards the opposite. It is only through pain and suffering a man will learn. I am telling about my incidents again here. It is only through pain and suffering I learned detachment. If this pain and suffering would have been there, I would have been in bliss, in Maya. So these things are blessings in disguise actually. Even health issues, these issues, they are coming to teach something. So we got to focus on what is the lesson, learn the lesson, evolve beyond it, and accept those things also. We don't accept certain illness also. Accept doesn't mean that embrace illness. It is that first acknowledging, okay, this has come. But we don't want to even say that. Before it come only, you want to push it. We try to run here, there and get rid of it. It will not go. Rekha Singh, family constellation workshop is around nowadays. I see people seeking help from these facilitators, but Guru's word have built a fence. I never seek help outside. I know Guru Mandala is there and lessons will be learned. Well, I would just like to differ here. These are good. These are good words that Guru's words have built a fence, what you say and all that. For me, I would say Guru's word has taken off all the fence from me. My life, my experience. What you are sharing must be your experience. My experience is Guru's light has taken off all the fence around me. Because I am not being very self-centered that only that. There are hundreds of incidents I can share that beyond the fence help has come to me. You are saying there is some constellation workshop going on nowadays. I don't know what is this constellation. So maybe it's a new kind of some new workshop or new concept or something. Let them do. What's wrong in that? कॉन्स्टेलेशन वर्कशॉप आने दो, कोई भी वर्कशॉप आने दो, सी एवरी और एनी फैसिलिटेटर्स आने दो, it doesn't matter. There are thousands of workshops going on, thousands of masters, thousands of facilitators around the world trying to help or do whatever, be it business or even help or whatever. One thing that my guru has taught is never judge anyone. The moment I say these people are doing this, these people are doing that, it's a judgment. I have no authority to judge. Let them do what they want. If it is helpful for me, I take help. If it is not helpful for me, I move away. It doesn't really mean that if it is not helpful to me, it is not helping others. We should not get into that. I'm sure. See, I have a path, and I say, my guru's path. We all say. There are so many other paths. I will say that no, those paths don't appeal to me. My guru's path appeals to me, and I'm happy with this. Good for you. Somebody else, their guru's path is helping, and your path is not helping them. We should be very practical here. Does it mean that if our path is good, the other paths are bad? I mean, rest all the people are not being helped in any ways? Does it mean that people attending some other facilitator or some other workshop are not getting any help? No, my dear. They are being benefited, but you might not be benefited. So, what is good for us, we take that. What is good for somebody else, we take that. We respect every workshop. We respect every facilitator, every master, every path. So, I have a different opinion. These fences first, which was rigid, because we come through, these are boundaries. What is all this caste system and all these things? It's all this nonsense that it began from there. Mine, my community, my people, my thing, that is different, those guys are this way. Discrimination. This is not the Nityananda Tattva. Ajata Tattva. We are talking here about Ajata Tattva. On this page I only talk Ajata Tattva. Ajata means opposite of Jati. No Jati. Ajata Tattva. Which he had. Oneness. The spirit of oneness. So for me, my experience has been different. Maybe this has been your experience. For me, my Guru and the Guru Mandala's light has removed all the fences, and I see everything beautifully as one. Dear sir, thank you for your sharings. You get what you seek. I can fully relate to your sharings and follow a similar thought process. I have been asking some questions recently and I get answers. And I get answers coming to me. I have passed through your website on a few occasions but did not pay attention. Today I am listening and I am thankful. I have not gone into sadhanas etc. but I can grasp every single word you say. That's very nice of you, RG Vimaji. I'm happy that this is helping you. See, I can see you do not belong to any path, but you're still here. That's what I'm trying to say. If we have a certain kind of a vibration, certain kind of an intention, similar attraction of energies and similar kind of answers and solutions are there everywhere throughout the universe. It comes through us. Now, if you had a boundary that I don't believe this, I don't believe that, which you said, I passed through your website a couple of times, but I've never paid attention. So, if we are rigid and we say, no, this guy is that guy is that, too much of judgment. Sometimes in judgment, we can miss out a lot of things. When we have openness to see things beyond a certain kind of boundaries, what are the boundaries? Our own mind playing games. When we see everything open and we learn to look into something and what is good for us, we accept. What is not good for us, we reject. When we go with that kind of approach, you will certainly get answers in the universe. We don't get answers in the universe because of our rigidity. The universe wants to help us. That is what I said. Guru Tattva can help you in any form. Guru can come in any form, even through an animal. I have given all these examples. There are so many times even animals have saved my life in the deadliest forest where I got lost and all, the Guru comes and works through anything. There, if you say, no, I just want only my Guru to appear here, Prakat, only if I see his body and his face, only I'll take help, then you will go. Because that we asked for help, and that help is coming through whatever is available around us. That is why the Guru said, do not judge anyone. Never judge anyone. This my Gurudev has told many times कि आपको पता नहीं किस रूप में कौन क्या आएगा, आपको पता नहीं है, तो कभी जज नहीं करना किसी को. So what Vimaji you said is the same thing. There is no judgment. It doesn't mean that you accept everything, but be open to everything. Life, all the answers will come through different ways. And we say it's a coincidence. I'm asking, some say Babaji is speaking through you, some say some other force is working through you. It's whatever your notion is. It's not just me. If you open your eyes, even your dog might be talking to you in a different way. A drunkard who's going on your street might have a message. अगर आप उसको तुच्छ मनुष्य समझ के आप देखोगे भी नहीं उसके तरफ, you miss the message. As simple as that. The Guru Shishya Marga, this is very important. Why do we say Lord Dattatreya had 24 gurus? From an ant, a bee, an insect, a prostitute. What does that mean? Every tattva in nature, everything possible, even a prostitute he saw as a guru. How many of us can think of a prostitute as a guru? We will immediately reject. We will say, she. And what? We are talking about the Guru Shishya Parampara. We are very proud of our Guru Shishya Parampara. We say, we are so and so, we are so and so, we are so and so. And when it comes to following the Avadhut Gita of Lord Dattatreya, we reject it. And he is the father of all the Avadhutas. He is the Parama Guru. Why? Awareness is not there. The light is not on. This is what I am trying to say. The path, light should be. We should be knowing what we are doing. Then only the path helps. कैसे पता चलेगा? इंसिडेंट से लेसन कैसे लर्न करना है. एक ही चीज है, ऑनेस्टी. ऑनेस्टी से ही पता चलेगा, नहीं तो नहीं पता चलेगा. यू हैव टू बी ट्रूली ऑनेस्ट, बिकॉज लेसन्स आर देयर, वी इग्नोर. Many times I have seen, this is in my case also, I have seen this. When I am contemplating on a lesson, I will see my dosha there. But many times the ego will not want to accept it. They will push it away and they will think, Dusra, there must be something. This is crookedness. This is dishonesty. Integrity, मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ, integrity is being truthful to yourself, being true to the core, whether anybody is watching or not. When we practice this within, seeing everything. See, integrity has many basic things. It's a huge, I can talk for hours together just on integrity. And how we do not live in integrity. Integrity means what? Being 100% truthful, whatever it is. Being impartial at all. How many times, let us say, your family members are there and you have a kid. And if somebody, your kid has done some nonsense somewhere in the streets or in the neighborhood something, and people come and complain, your child does this. How many of us jump to defense and try to prove wrong? No. You will defend your child, or you might defend your family members when somebody comes to fight, knowing very well that they have done an error. This is integrity. You have to be honest, you have to be impartial. It's not easy. I've always tried to be impartial in my life and I've had a lot of problems. So what if it is my family? They can't do mistake. So what if it is me? I can't make a mistake. I have to be very honest with myself. I'm making a mistake. My family is making a mistake. No partiality. That is integrity. When we learn to live in honesty and integrity, life lessons will be open up. It will open up. It is because of our lack of integrity only lessons cannot be seen, because we are not true to ourselves. And lessons can be learned only when you are true to yourself, because that is what the lesson is all about. You understand and you learn it properly, not through wisdom, through experience. And when you learn it through integrity and say, I have learned it, I've made a mistake, because people who are practicing integrity will be very honest and they will very clearly say, I've made a mistake. Not to the world, but to themselves first. I've made a mistake. And they will immediately rectify, because only when you say I've made a mistake only you can rectify. You cannot directly rectify without acknowledging. Acknowledgement is the first symbol and sign that you are learning. Many people are not acknowledging. We don't want to acknowledge. And if you cannot acknowledge, there is no question of learning lessons. And what makes you acknowledge? Honesty, truthfulness, integrity. This practice should be there. And how does integrity come into you? Awareness. If you are only aware, even this integrity thing will show up to you. Otherwise, the ego and Maya will play some illusion and prove it to you that you are a saint and everybody, the whole world is a mess. Whole world is to blame, but I am a saint. How to use awareness to deal with people who throw tantrums at us and have a lot of childish tendencies. I want to keep myself at peace. Even if they cause any type of trouble or loss, I feel anxiety in my anath because of the tantrums thrown at me. See, tantrums are what? What is tantrum? Tantrum is somebody constantly nagging you and you are getting hurt. What is that hurt? What are they nagging you at? They are nagging you at your false self. They are nagging your ego self. They are not nagging your soul. Nobody is nagging your soul. Are you getting it? Nobody is nagging your soul. It is the ego self, the false identity that we have created all the time, which we believe is our true self, which is not our true self. We believe it is our true self, and when somebody pokes on that, you get irritated. Are you getting it? You will get irritated only when you are connected to that ego consciousness. So tantrum, that person is throwing tantrum, if it is irritating you, understand that you are more in the ego consciousness than the real you. You are not more in the false I than the you. Because you are believing what they are saying. If somebody says you are a crook, your ego will feel bad, because your ego feels you are a saint or you are a great person. So it will take it offense. How can that person call me a crook? I feel irritated. How dare you call that? Saying it's a false identity which you have. And awareness will keep you more in your real self. When you know you are not a crook and somebody is calling you a crook, you will know you are not that. And when you know you are not that, you will not feel hurt. And if you don't feel hurt, you will not feel irritated. Just like somebody poked some angry buttons. This is there in all my live sessions. Somebody comes and keeps poking angry button. I don't know what for they get angered. But that's none of my business to know. Why are they angry? What and get angry at them. And how dare you do this? I'm talking a nice topic and why are you getting angry? It's none of my business. That's your concept. If you're feeling irritated, okay, press the button and go. Pressing a angry button won't make me stop talking about it. Because I know there is nothing to be angered about. What somebody is feeling angered about is their own emotion, it's their own dirt, it is their ego consciousness which is getting hurt. What I am speaking is triggering something negative inside them, and they are feeling very uncomfortable, so they don't want to face that, so they want to stop somebody who's outside. Are you getting it? That is angry. Somebody is getting agitated. Oh, this guy is talking this guy is talking. What am I talking? Listen to all my videos. I'm not talking any hateful words here. What I'm talking is shedding light on the darkness. So when I'm putting light on the darkness, my talks, my speech, my thoughts, my actions are putting always constantly light on the darkness. Definitely there is some darkness in you which is getting triggered. Light is, and you can't take that. So you push the angry buttons. Why you push the angry buttons? Because you want to show, no, please stop that. You can't do this. You can't do this. I will do this. I will do this because I'm not getting triggered like you. And try to react on that. There's no point in that. Because I understand what you think about me is not true. I know what I am. Because I am connected to some other source while I'm talking. In awareness, I'm talking. So I know what you think is false. And I know what I'm talking about is the real tattva, the real essence that I'm trying to convey. So I believe in myself more than I believe in you. So this is what I want to say. If somebody is triggering you, somebody is throwing tantrums, you are believing that person more than you believe in yourself. Why? Because you are in your false ego. You are connected to your false I. Come out of that ego consciousness, go into the real I. You will not feel the tantrums. It may be easy to say, but that's what I'm saying. You got to practice it. When you practice it and get into that stage. It will not come overnight. I'm telling you, just because somebody is saying awareness and you think about awareness, it's not going to happen. You got to practice it. Shiva Bhaiya, God bless you. Thank you. God bless you too. So actually, Shubhangi, there is nothing to deal with people. You said how to deal with people. There's nothing to deal. It's your interest if you want to connect and make a deal with every Tom, Dick and Harry. Why do you want to make a deal out of all these things? Ignore it. And you can ignore only when you know the truth about yourself. If you don't, then you'll want to keep dealing with anybody who goes against what you feel about yourself. Baba always says, I used to meditate on my Guru's word. Yeah, please explain, Rahul Tiwari. Meditate on the Guru's word is what exactly I'm talking is live in that awareness. It is not just about wisdom. When Gurudev says, I meditated, मैंने अपने गुरु के वाक्यों पर ध्यान किया means he put his awareness on that words and made that awareness a part of his life. Practically implemented it in his life. He brought forth that in his experience than just in his brains or just doing a pravachan. It was more than that. He lived that teaching. Living the teaching is called meditating, because you can live the teachings only when you meditate on the Guru's words. Meditate doesn't mean that you read a line and then go into, maybe that's there, but that's not what he meant. Meditate means go, contemplate, feel it, live it. Meditate on it, because then only that consciousness will seep in. Connect to the consciousness of the Guru Tattva. What made the Guru say that teaching? What was the consciousness of the Guru when that was said? When you connect to that, exactly that meaning, that experience will be transferred to you, and you will start feeling that in your tattvas. And when you feel it, you will understand, oh, this is what the Guru meant. But if you don't use awareness and if you use buddhi, this buddhi is contaminated through the mind. Mind has a lot of impurities. That impurities can tell you some wrong notion about that teaching, which is most what happens in this world. Today only I was talking to Swamiji, and Swamiji said, beautiful folk songs are sung here about the Ajata Tattva. All these villagers, they sing all the Advait songs. Like this is not the body, and this is a perishable body, and what importance do we give to this, and all the temporariness of this, and they sing it very beautifully. And these are poems of Kanakadasa, Purandaradasa, all the great mystics, they sing about that. But he said, how many of them live it? Haadabeku, they say. He said, Maadabeku. Haadabekilla. Haadabeku means you have got to sing. Maadabeku means you got to do. Doing that is very important than just singing it. But today in the world, what do you see? Everybody sings Advaita. How many follow it? You go to even Advaita places of practice, you will find Dvaita. Literally, I am telling you, you just go to the places of Advaita, you will see full Dvaita there. That means it is there in the head, but it is not there in practice. Practice what you preach. So this is meant by contemplating on the Guru's teaching, by connecting to the consciousness. Meditating on that means actually what the Guru has seen while he has told that or said that. What was in the Guru's experience which made him say that teaching? Let that come into my awareness. That should be the bhav. And that will come to you immediately, because the moment, sab kuch bhav re. The moment you make that bhav, it will get transferred to you. Why it doesn't happen? Because we don't seek in this manner. Truthfulness. But Jacob ji, I am impartial. Yeah, everybody will say that only. I'm telling you, we never say that I'm bad or I can do wrong. All the arguments happen because we say I'm correct, rest everybody is wrong. And then we say, now tell me the solution. Consciously maybe you are thinking, I am right, it doesn't happen. When we always think I am right, there is no lessons that can be told to you. You got to experience lessons all the time, because we are not learning there. It's up to you. I could only see my dosha and feel guilty. No. Feeling guilty means you have not learned lesson. Guarantee. If you are feeling guilty, then you are not learning lessons. Guilty is self-pity. Victimization is guilty. Please understand this. The moment you victimize and say that, oh, this has happened to me, I feel I should be punished. Why am I doing this? Why did I do this? That self-pity, victimization, not lessons learned. Lessons learned will be above victimization. It will be like, oh, I did this. No, now I should get out of this nonsense. I was a victim. Something happened to me. This happened. Life did this bad to me. Oh God. Or I did something wrong to somebody. I shouldn't have done that, all that. But then you will say, okay, now what? Now I have to change. Now I have to do something so that I can overcome this. That is learning lesson. Till you are drooling in self-pity, guilt and all that, lessons are not learned, because then that suffering will be there. Till sufferings are there, that means lesson is not learned. It is making you suffer. It is making you catch that point till you get it. And then we say, no, I am reeling in that. Get out of it. If lesson is learned, you should feel happy about it. Okay, I learned now. This is what I am sharing right now. About my daughter itself. Oh, that time it was very painful. Today, no, it's not there. Not an ounce of it is there. But there is a sense of responsibility. That is why I am trying to do whatever I can to that soul. And I feel eternally grateful to even my wife, that spouse. There is nothing that I am blaming her when I am praising my daughter or feeling good for her. That doesn't mean ki our mother has done some. No, they are both are beautiful souls, and they mean a lot to me. Whether they acknowledge it or not, it doesn't mean me. I'm not saying that having this bhava, tomorrow they might not curse me. They might feel curseful, or even my daughter might feel curseful. And because of this guy, my life happened this way, or something. They might say something else, but that's not the truth. So that doesn't matter. If that happens that side, I'm telling you, if that happens that side, that means the lesson, that end has not yet completed. The spouse also, if they are feeling more remorse, but then it's their life lessons. That's how life happens. We should learn our lessons. We should allow others to learn lessons. This is what happens in a family. There is no partiality. Like, no, I will not allow my family to learn. उनको दुख नहीं होने का मेरा family को. That is your damn attachments. My child should not suffer, my parents should not suffer, my this should not suffer. Always protecting, always guarding. That means you don't want them to learn life lessons. And then you suffer. That's because you are putting your hand into all those karmas, and you are saying, give me a share of it also. You also suffer. Learn lesson, allow everybody to suffer. We are not gods. We are not gods to decide somebody else's karmic lessons. Even if we do, that is all temporary. Only if momentarily we will do that. Are you getting it? And we have a feeling ki, we are done everything. नहीं चलता. सृष्टि है. Everybody is independent. Everybody has to learn their own consequences. Whoever you are, however powerful you are, however great you are, however wealthy you are, however long life you have, you cannot control the life situation of any of your beloved ones. Try it and see. That trial, when we try this impossibility, is what causes suffering. ये नहीं होता, but still all our life we struggle to protect and to not allow them to learn, and try to manipulate, try to control, try to do things our way all the time, try to take destiny in our hands. That is what brings immense suffering. And then we cry, this is not happening. Then we go to gurus, we come to saints, and we say, please help. This is attachment. I don't know, my battery might conk off, so I'll just walk the talk. My battery is in the rejuvenation center that side, so that it's not disconnecting. I'll just walk the talk till there. So if you're interested, you can just be with me. I want to share some more examples of the past life real incidences that I've seen here also. This will put some light into your life and make you understand that this is not how we see it. One has to pay a lot of impartial and Myra, awareness is the answer. Mira, awareness is the answer for everything. Yes, awareness is self-sadhana. Awareness is your soul. Awareness is God. Awareness is Guru Tattva. Awareness is the soul, the real I. If you catch that essence, awareness is self-realization. The moment you are able to expand that awareness 24/7 in 100% quality, that's self-realization. How to help a family member who has turned away towards addiction? Who can get carried away to the extent with this, I feel personally responsible to help? No, you should not feel, Rekha Singh ji, you should not feel personally responsible to help. As a responsibility, as a soul group, yes, have that responsibility. I am responsible as a family member to help. But the outcome is not your responsibility. If somebody has not learned the lesson, how much ever you try to help, it is not going to happen. If that person has not learned the lesson and then you try to help in the name of help, and if that person is not learning, then if you don't understand this, you will still be very attached, and then you will want to control the outcomes. That is when suffering happens. But when you detach and say, if I help that person in showing the good light, help in all possible way, guide, but the outcomes is upon them. If they learn the lesson, very well and good for them. Otherwise, please continue having your life experiences. Life will teach you. What I am not able to teach you, life will teach you. This is my philosophy that I've always followed. I always try to teach and help others, but if they don't learn, I pull back. Seriously, be it my friends, my family, whoever. And I pull back, allowing life to teach them. And it's not that I pull back out of grudge. Oh, they didn't listen to me, now go to hell, go suffer. No, that's not the true awareness. You pull back and allow them to get some jhatkas, some jerks, and be there again if needed. If your need is there, be there again to guide them further. Who knows, after a jerk, another jerk that life gives them, they might need your help again. They might understand after that joke. There are so many incidents that has happened in my life that way. First I tell them they don't understand, then I allow life to do that, and when life teaches something, jolt, now when I tell them, they understand. Why this does not happen is because every time we are controlling. We don't allow them to learn the lessons. We should allow. And I'm telling you, whether you like it or not, life will teach them. It is our mithya, our ignorance, we feel that no, everything will happen through us only. Not required. Nature doesn't need you. I'm sorry to affect hurt your ego consciousness when I say nature doesn't need you. Life doesn't need you. Your family member doesn't need you to learn lessons. If you don't teach them, somebody else will teach them. That's how Prakriti is. We are just temporary Katputlis, puppets, moving through the journey. If you can affect, you will affect. If not, koi aur karega. So if you have this understanding and awareness, this is my limitation. This is all that I can do. When you have this humble limitation, you will say it's okay. This is what I have done, what I can do. Rest all उसकी इच्छा, तुम्हारी इच्छा उसकी इच्छा. But I am here to help. Can regular sadhana completely erase the Jagrit karma about... See, Jagrit karma is something else. So that one does not have to go through sufferings at all, or if I have learned my lesson, then do the difficulties in life which are trying to teach me a lesson completely, instantly disappear. No. Don't have wrong notions about all this, Manojji. What you are saying is Jagrit karma is the Kriyaman karma. Kriyaman karma is what has been activated. Prarabdha karma is what has been allotted to you in this lifetime. Sanchita karma is which is lying pending, which is yet to come down, which is not yet come down. Tapas sadhana, you can burn your sanchit karmas, which is yet to become fruits. It has not become fruits. It is becoming ready to become fruits. It is not yet come down. You can burn through tapas and sadhana that completely from the root, because it has not yet become a fruit, but which is allotted to you as prarabdha in this lifetime is going to come. The intensity of your sadhana, awareness, connection with the Guru will help you go through that and reduce the effect of the prarabdha karma. It can reduce the effect, it cannot. And prarabdha karma there is still yet to come, something to come. It is all fruit. Kriyaman is Jagrit, which is already activated, which is already in activation. That also can be reduced. It cannot be erased. Let us be practical about it. What can be erased is the Sanchit karma. And just go to the temple and move that side. ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ರೀ. Bhagavan Nityananda's temple. Okay. ರಾಡಿ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಕಾಲ್ದು ನಂದು ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ ನಾನು. I'll just move that side because the battery is there. So before I disconnect, I just want to complete on this. How to know what is the lesson to be learned when we don't see anything? See, you are not going to see anything. It's not that, again, be very practical. It's not that I have a lesson to learn and you close your eyes and something will come and show you what is the lesson. It's not that. Sometimes to even understand what the lesson is, it might take you months. You know, naturally when you are not having awareness, it can take you janmas. When you are not in awareness, it can take you lifetimes, and that is what normally happens when we are not aware. Out of ignorance, we spend lifetimes, but when we become aware of it, becoming just aware of it can bring that thing into light in a couple of days, hours, weeks, months, years, whatever is required, because we don't know what is the lesson to be learned until you are fine tuning and learning the lesson very properly. Life will ensure that it is moving around you. So it is about learning, and learning cannot be instantaneous. That's what I said previously with the same question. If there is a hurry, if there is an urgency, I want to learn and get rid of it, we are still not in the frame of mind to learn the lesson. We are only saying consciously, I want to learn a lesson, but deep inside it is that I want to get rid of it as soon as possible. And anything that you want to get rid of it as soon as possible, sure shot, is not the attitude of learning lessons. Learning lessons will involve an attitude of having patience, of willing to pay the price, of saying it's okay, whatever time it takes, let it take. If it takes a lifetime, let it take, but I'll learn and casually learn, understand. You'll experiment. It doesn't come easily. It needs experimentation, modifications. I'll keep talking on this more because there is so much to actually unwind on all these subjects. It cannot be just in one or two words that this can be explained about life lessons. But I would like to talk about more about real life experiences, because only then we can understand the seriousness of this. Yeah, Kuchari Harkuji, good. I'm glad it's helping you. Ashita ji is saying thank you Bhaiya for the way of meditation of getting into awareness you had taught. Can you please make us experience it again? Yeah, this was in the corona period. We used to practice this together. After that I just stopped and I'm talking more, and the experience are less, because when you are actually doing those practices, it does need a lot of energy. There is a lot more we need to share, I told you, and I need to be prepared for that. So after that period, I really did not feel I was prepared for it. That is the reason I did not do any more practices after that. See, it is all due from the will. I do not know, because I don't want to use my ego mind and say I'll do this, I'll teach that, I don't know. If it is happening, it will happen spontaneously. My intention also is only to help as much as possible. So I'm not sure when that will happen. So if it happens, well and good, we can all practice together. Even I would like to practice that awareness. It's really beautiful. how to practice awareness and maintain it all the time, look into all my videos. It's there on shifting into awareness on YouTube. There I've already taught hours together, so you can check it out. All the practices are there in our lifetime, how to fully be aware all the time and practice it fully. You can check in there and do those practices. Very simple methods but powerful methods. Yeah, Radhe Krishna ji. Yeah, it was a really beautiful experience those days. I remember even I used to be mesmerized with those. It's windy too. Just give me a moment. I've reached here. Let me just plug in my power bank or the battery, because otherwise the battery will die down. Hold on 1 second. Hi. I just came for my power bank. Where is my power bank? Oh, thank you so much. You put it on charging. That was very nice. I'm still on the live. So I just didn't want to this to conk off. Wire kidhar hai? You finished that stuff, right?
I found out what is missing. YouTube ka na? I have written down.
I hope this doesn't get disconnected, guys, when I plug in. Let me hope not. No.